Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and today I have a special unboxing and initial impressions video. This unboxing video is for an Islander watch, and this is the first time that I'm looking at it. Now, I want to thank Long Island Watch for sending me this Islander watch for this review. There's no paid promotion in the corner because they did send me this watch on loan. When I'm done with the review, I do have to send it back. I'm not being compensated in any way, and in fact, when I'm done with this review, I have to pay shipping to send this back to them. So, why am I doing this review? What's in it for me? Well, I'm doing this review for all of you watching. So, if you like this video, please take a second to like and subscribe to the channel. It really does go a long way to helping the channel. What's in it for me? So what's in it for me is I'd like to grow this channel, and with your support, I can do that if you like and subscribe. So let's get started. Inside the box, there's a screwdriver tool, and the watch that they sent me is the Islander ISL 317 GMT. Now, I'm a little bit familiar with this watch because I happen to own the ISL 244, and this watch I did buy and pay for with my own money. So what I'm going to do is a little bit of a side-by-side comparison, comparing the old model with the new. Let's start with the old one first. So this ISL 244 that I've had, when I was looking at this watch, there were two colorways that I was really interested in. There was this one here with a full lume dial, and they also had a sick purple one. I wish I bought both of them, but I didn't. I just picked up this one, and now that purple one is sold out. The thing about Long Island Watch or Islander watches is I don't know if I would consider them a micro brand. I don't really know how large the company is, but they've got so many different models. It's hard for me to think that they're a micro brand at this point. But in my opinion, what I think they do is that they'll order a batch of watches and have them shipped maybe in quantities of 100. And then when those 100 watches, they sell out, they sometimes bring them back or they won't. So they're not limited edition pieces. You're not going to get a serialized number on something like this, but know that they buy a certain allotment of it. They bring it over from where they're produced, and then from there, once they sell out, if they're a big seller, they'll probably put in another order and replenish that stock. Or if it's slow to sell, maybe they don't bring them back. But this watch right here I have, and I'm really quite fond of it. You can kind of see the combination of polishing and brushing on the case there. This is a GMT world timer, and you could see all the different cities and countries. Long Island being Long Island Watch, they have Long Island there instead of New York printed. Really nice H-link style bracelet, uses screw pin links. As far as this clasp, it had a buckle clasp. I changed it out for this ratcheting on the fly micro adjust clasp. For me, it's just a lot more comfortable. I could really get the perfect fit any time of year with this type of clasp. It didn't cost me a whole lot to replace, but it's a really nice clasp. Now, the reason why I went with this particular one is because this watch features a full lume dial, and I'll show you that real quick. So that was the real big selling point for me when it came to this watch. Now, one thing I really wasn't too fond of when it came to this watch is, in fact, that bezel. Because if you're using this watch as a world timer, for example, right now it's set for 10:10. Set that to Long Island or New York because I'm in the Eastern time zone. But let's say I wanted to know what the time was in Italy. Well, then I would look across the dial and I would find Paris right here. Paris is the same time as Rome. So I could see there in the 24-hour scale that you could see in the readout that it would be 4 a.m. there where it's currently 10 p.m. on the East Coast. The thing I don't like about this is that when the time does happen to change, so let's say now it's 11 p.m. in New York, now it's 2300 hours. Now in order for me to change that time once again in Italy or Rome, that Paris time, this being a unidirectional bezel and not a bidirectional bezel, I have to turn this all the way around to bring that New York time back onto that GMT hand, so I can now spot that it is now 5 a.m. in Italy. And again, should that time change again to where it's now 2 a.m. or 10 after 2, I should say, in New York, Well, then I have to turn this once again, basically all the way around like so. Get that on the 2. So now I could see that Rome, Paris is at, as you can see here, at 8 a.m. So that's one of the cons to this style. This is really more of a unidirectional dive style versus a bidirectional, which is what it should be. But that's just one of my cons. Now let's take a look at the other watch. So now this is the ISL 317, where mine was the ISL 244. And this still has all the plastic on it. Oh, looks like this screw is coming out. So let me pause this video, get all the plastic off, tighten down the screws, and I'll come right back. And as I was getting the plastic off, that screw literally did just pop out and this fell apart on me. But luckily, they gave me the screwdriver, so I'm going to get that fixed right now. There we are. We're all better now. Fix that. No problem. Now, just first impressions of this watch. There are a lot more differences than I would have expected comparing the two. The first and foremost is obviously the dial. I like how, if you could see in the reflection there, how they have those crosshairs. If you may be able to see in the reflection there how they have kind of those latitude and longitudinal lines. I like that 24-hour rehout, how they have it now with contrasting colors. The date window is considerably larger than my watch. The bezel action feels better on this watch, but it is still unidirectional. It's not bidirectional, so the issue that I mentioned with my watch, you're going to kind of see that here. Now let me grab my watch so you can kind of see these two side by side, and you can really see the difference in that date window now when you have these two side by side. You also see how the indices are different, where on my watch you have the 12, the 3, then you have the date window at 6 and the 9 o'clock, where here they did the exact reverse. So they have the 1, the 2, and then they have batons at 3. They still have the date window at 6, and at 9 they have another baton. I like the differences here. Also, there's a slight difference with the hands. You can see where mine are more skeletonized and these are more, I don't know what you would call them, spear styles. Going back to this watch, get a closer look. Wow, you could really see a stark contrast in the chamfering. Definitely more pronounced on the new watch than it is on mine. You still have the signed crowns, which is nice. Another change is that they have their own micro adjust clasp right now, where when I bought mine that was not an option. You just push and you can extend it or collapse it to find that perfect fit. Where mine, me putting my aftermarket one, it actually sits on the outside and you would just press and it kind of extends from the outside. This one obviously gives you a much cleaner look, and of course it's also signed, which is a really nice touch. Let's check out the lume on this. I'll set them both down. Now, it's not a full lume dial like mine is, but that is still good looking lume on it. Real easy to read, real easy to pick up. This is very nice indeed. So which would you prefer? I really like them both. I like this sand color of the dial, and I really do like that orange and black rehout. It's so much easier to read than it is on my watch. On my watch there is some contrast, but it's not as pronounced as you see here. This is just, with my tired eyes, it's just much easier to pick up and read. So that's my initial impression and unboxing. What I am going to do is size this watch, wear it for a bit, and see how it feels. I'm sure it'll feel just as comfortable as my old watch. Once again, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification button so you can see my more detailed review on this watch. Thanks for watching.